Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Failing Feminist podcast. This will be the first episode with Miss Engaisi and Miss Monique. Yes, and we'll be talking about love in the 255. Yeah. So we're going to start out easy. Not really that easy, but let's start with what's your mantra in life?
Oh, well, if it's about love, love is life.
Yeah.
I think
Love is life?
love is life.
Mantra. Be open to. Be open.
Be open
Yeah.
to all possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's a slippery slope, but be open.
Be open.
Yeah.
Okay. So my mantra is, I don't know, it's just something I always say. It's so if not me, then who? Yeah, because if I'm not gonna do it, then who will do it? Yeah. All right. So on to the next question is, what's the most positive thing about you being a woman that is that causes an impact in society?
You said you started easy.
Yeah.
I have to think. The most positive or the strongest thing?
The positive, the most positive.
I think when you're a woman in society and you do things that people don't expect of you, I think that's very powerful.
Yeah.
So it makes me more powerful
Yeah.
when you do it as a woman than as a man, maybe.
Than as a man.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh no. Never thought about this before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to say the feminine touch, but I guess
That's
there's,
also a
there's
positive
always a difference, I guess.
thing. Yeah.
I don't know about me. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, I would say the positive thing about me being a woman in society would be the challenging views. Yeah, just challenging the society and the societal norms that were put there and just giving it a different perspective, opening up a different conversation. Yeah, yeah,
that's a good one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're going to the.
Especially, I know you're progressive in many ways, so I think your views from that point of view as a woman.
So back to the softer questions. So according to you, what is self-love?
I think self-love is when you trust yourself, when you accept the way you are, and you can forgive yourself for whatever mistake you make. Yeah, and be kind to yourself.
Yes, absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree.
I've only very recently learned the importance of that. And I don't think it's only very recently that I've actually come to realize what self-love is. I thought I knew, but the wholeness of it,
Yeah.
how it has to be all-encompassing. Like you can't just pick and choose what you love about yourself.
Yeah.
It's got to be everything. And you've got, and I think that just opened me up to know my blind spots and know how to deal with them rather than trying to cover them up or, yeah, I think it's a kindness to yourself, a listening to yourself, and forgiveness. Yeah.
Those are all good points. Yeah. So mine would just be everything you said, but it'd also be how I speak to myself in my head. That is, like how when someone else does something wrong, you say, "Oh, it's not a big deal. It can be fixed." For me, I would say just talking to myself kindly, and just understanding that this is just a mistake and I could learn from it, and just accepting the fact that I'm human and it happens.
Which is
Yeah.
it's weird how hard we are on ourselves. Like you're saying, if it was someone else, it would be a very different kind of conversation. I don't know why we hold ourselves to such high standards. It's a good thing in a way, I guess.
Yeah.
But if we do fail, we should also know that that was a bit too high.
Yeah.
It's a process, right?
Yeah.
I think self-love goes through waves too.
Yeah,
There's probably moments in your life, right?
So we're talking about self-love, and we spoke about self-awareness in knowing that it's a continuous process. We spoke about being knowing yourself and just forgiving yourself and being kind to yourself and being aware of yourself. So can we talk about self-awareness and how it is to you individually and how it's just it's a growing process and where you are at that process?
where I am in the process.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's a never-ending learning curve, and I do think I'm a bit older than you two, but still, I cannot say I'm an expert, but I do feel that at a certain age, I think when I turned 30, I had a kind of an eye-opening self-awareness feeling, and I think it carries on. I think a lot of traveling triggered it, like being in different cultures all the time, in different situations. This places you in a different position all the time, which makes you more aware of yourself, like the way you see the world, and realizing that other people see the world maybe differently.
Yeah, gives you a different perspective.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a never-ending. There's no map. There's no route. It's just a blob that changes forms all the time. But I think what's essential in helping me navigate is listening to myself. I think it's, for me at least, it's super important for me to sit down, whether it's whenever I'm feeling some kind of way, and the importance of the questions we ask ourselves. And basically the switch it recommended was, instead of asking why, which is probably going to lead us into like a rabbit hole that never ending, because there's so many reasons why we could be, like our genes could be a reason, but what? Like, what about the situation is making me uncomfortable right now? And I enjoy asking myself that question. I feel like it helps me.
You self-analyze the triggers.
To some extent. Sometimes it's too, like...
Yeah, and sometimes it's...
Yeah. It's like,
And that's also okay.
Yeah.
It's also okay. So to me, being self-aware, I used to think when I reach 25, I'll know everything about myself. I will know everything about myself. So I'm 26 and realize, there's a lot more. I'm realizing there's a lot more about myself. Like there's something I would think I like, then it happens and I'm like, there's something I didn't like here. So I'd have to ask myself, what exactly about it didn't I like? Because when I think about it in my mind, I like it. But once it happens, I'm like, no, that's not what I like. Yeah. So for me, it's a continuous process, and being self-aware for me is knowing my limits. That would be, for me, I'm an introvert. So my limits would be, of late I just realized that my social battery it crashes down so fast. And when it does, I find a way of taking myself out of those situations. And what I learned from that is I'm not always I would just disappear like that. And I'm learning that is a bad habit. That is a bad habit, and something that needs to be fixed. So it's something as simple as that, and it's continuous. Where did you find self-love? Like, I know for you, you said traveling.
Yeah, traveling is a big part of my life. I think I found self-love before. I don't think I ever went through episodes in my life where I didn't like myself, or where I was very anxious or had other mental state of mind that was not very positive. I think I'm positive by nature, and I think my parents really taught me that. The way they act and do is, I think, what I took as an example.
I like what you said about your parents, on how you went back on, I'm sure this has something to do with how you were brought up. Yes, so I like how you went down and seeing how it influences you today.
Yes, it definitely does.
Yes, on how you practice self-love.
And I think I see that as I get older, I see this more and more, that the roots of many of these things, love and how you see yourself, are the way you brought up, I think. Or how your parents showed you this in a way, without actually talking about it. They never really talked about these things. But the way they behave and the way they act around me and my brother, I think this is the treat you.
So you just picked it up.
Yeah.
How about you?
Where did I find self-love? I don't think I went through any kind of, I don't think I was actively negative towards myself. Maybe passive about myself. Just, I think, especially during the teenage years. But like actively seeking to know about myself. I think after I moved out of my parents' house, then, because in that house it was about everyone, because I'm the firstborn. It was about everyone but me. Like, you have to make sure dinner's ready. You have to make sure da, 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 da. But after I moved out, it was now just me figuring it out, and yeah, that was. I liked myself. Like, oh, okay, I like this person. I like how she's navigating the world. It's the first time being out, and I think it just deepened my commitment to understand myself better. Yeah.
I absolutely agree with the both of you, because where I found self-love was, I didn't go through anything traumatic. So for me, it would be from my upbringing as well. And at the time I realized how essential self-love is was in high school, actually. It was in high school after finishing my A-levels. Yes, there was a lot going on at home, finishing school, navigating that, and at that time, you tend to forget about yourself. Everyone has their expectations of you. This one wants you to do this one wants you to do this, but then you're like, what do I want? What do I want? Like, I'm not sure what I want, but do I have an idea of what I want? We're still on the easy questions.
I am
So
already
the
like
reminder.
Okay, I feel like this is obvious, but do you love people better when you love yourself?
Yes. Yes, definitely yes. When you feel good and when you're happy about yourself and about life, everyone else seems nicer too. I think.
It's
It
like a
radiates.
glass
Yes.
or it's like a lens you get
Yes.
to see others, and I only very recently acquired it. Thankfully, it's still a little foggy, but we're working on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it brings an openness to accepting people and how they are, and being able to love them that way, as opposed to if you're closed off and you have your own baggage, which we always do. But if you're more aware of it and you're still open, you're just able to love people more openly. Whereas, if you still have things holding you back, or you have a certain way of viewing people, you put expectations on them. You view them not really as they are, but how you expect them to be to you.
Yes.
And that just messes things up, I think.
Yeah, I like what you say about the lens or the filter.
Yeah.
If your filter is dark, you look through the dark filter and you see everyone.
Everything is terrible.
Yeah. And then I realized everything is about perception.
Mm-hmm.
It's about perception. So how you perceive someone else loving you when you're not loving yourself is not the same way they would perceive how they are loving you. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Because that's how these toxic relationships come.
Yeah.
You're in a bad place, and you probably feel very undeserving of love, and somebody's showing you weird, twisted attention, and you're responding to it because you're not in a place to make a better decision for yourself.
Yeah. And you're accepting it because you feel like this is as much as I can get right now. I feel like this is as good as it gets. But once you love yourself and you're in tune with yourself, the moment someone they're giving you love, but it's not the type of love you want. Yeah, it could be a narcissistic type of love, or it could be toxic. It would be easier to recognize it when you're present at that particular time in self-love.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I feel about that.
And saying no and being okay with the no, meaning you have to be by yourself.
Yes. Yes. Even though that's hard.
Yes, and this is something I think you have to learn.
Yes,
it is.
Throughout life, you end up in situations where you, at some point, you have to choose yourself.
Yes. And sometimes it's hard. It's hard choosing yourself. Yeah. Because sometimes you don't know how to be alone by yourself. So just choosing someone else showing you some attention as opposed to no attention. So you're saying, I would rather I keep this person close than have no attention at all. So I would take whatever they're giving, even though it's half of whatever it is I know I should be getting. But just saying, no one else would love me.
Something is better than nothing.
Something is better than nothing. What are your love languages?
Ooh, we just sneak peeked into your questions. We were talking about this. But I think the way I speak in my love language is kind actions. I'm not so much a person to buy gifts. I also don't expect gifts from others. Um, and in words, yeah. If I really love somebody, they will hear it. I will tell them. But I think actions is the most powerful love language.
I think so too.
I would say words of affirmation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My partner, actually, my previous partner, was the one who taught me this, that love is essentially boils down to actions. Because you could say I love you all day long, and your actions be speaking a whole different language. So I firmly believe in the actions, not just acts of kindness, but just actions that say I care about you, and I think about you, and you're important to me. So I think that's how I express love. I don't have the words for it, so you won't hear much from me. I will show you, I suppose. But action.
Actions, yeah.
So there are 5 types of love languages. So far, I've gotten words of affirmation. I'm trying to place, I don't want to say acts of service, but it's in between there. Is it?
I think it's actions as well.
Actions as well?
I think so, yeah.
They don't necessarily have to be actions of service.
Yes.
Actions of kindness.
Actions of kindness.
Yeah.
Okay. So my love language would be quality time. Quality time is essential.
That's another one, yeah.
Like we could be sitting in the same room, but that's not quality time to me. What are we doing sitting in the same room?
Yes, if you're both on your phone, then it's...
If we're both on the phones, then what are we doing? So for me, it's quality time and acts of service as well as action. For me, acts of service being, okay, you can buy me gifts, you can tell me nice things, but I want to know a light bulb went off. Yeah, I can fix it myself. I'm also doing the dishes. I'm also cooking. I want someone that will not just sit down and watch TV. You will get up. Either you'll fix that bulb or you'll do the dishes while I do that. For me, that's how I feel like I am being shown love. Yes. So for some people,
like a partner.
Yes, like a partner. So for me, for some people, you find that you get in a relationship and you don't understand each other's love languages.
Yes,
and
that happens a lot.
Yeah. And you don't ask each other. You're just like, no, we're love.
Maybe you don't know also your love. Because now that I'm thinking about this more, if you ask me where the self-love comes from, if I think about my dad, for example, the way he showed me that he loves me, he doesn't tell me I love you. It's not really a common thing in our household to tell each other this. But he does. He will do everything for me, and I'm 100% sure about that. If there's something wrong in my life or something has to be fixed or simple things like a light bulb, he will do it. And that's his
way of
love language. And I trust that completely, I think.
I agree with that. Because it's the same with my mom as well. Because sometimes you'll find your love languages is influenced by someone in your life prior. So for me with my mom, with acts of service and quality time, no matter how busy she is, she would find time. You're sitting in the same room, but she won't be on the phone or watching TV. She'll find time and ask me, so what's new? What's new in your life right now? Do you have something to tell me? Do you want to talk about it? Even though it's nothing new, it could be something you recently found out at work. You talk to her about it, and she's like, okay. Then she exchanges her ideas. That's how I see it.
And quality time, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
for sure.
Okay. All right. So, where did you first feel like you're experiencing love in your life?
I think in different stages. Well, yes, my parents and my brother. I think that's the first connection to love. My first love, as in love relationship. Yes, that's where I experienced love. I'm now maybe a few relationships further, and I feel it again. Yes.
Okay. It's good to know that for some reason young people have this idea that love can only be experienced once. Like, if I can't have you now because I love you, I will never feel this way again. Drama.
And also love with not just relationships with other people, but love for, like, how I develop my love for traveling or for sports. That's also
love.
eye-opening.
My run-in with love. Bruh. I guess my mother. Yeah, it was, and it's only now that I can look at it like love, but she was very committed to making sure that me and my siblings are okay, even when circumstances were extremely difficult. Um, sh in some, she wasn't able to express it in a way that a child would understand most of the time until very much later on in my life. But looking back, I think, yeah, my mother, and then yeah, my really really one major relationship, and I was in love, and I felt loved, and in the things that I do too, I feel love. Yeah.
Those things.
Mm.
Okay, and could also be from different people. It could be from friendships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this person putting in the time, creating brunch dates, or like how you two are traveling together. That's also a good idea on how you're building friendships, and you can feel a certain type of connectedness through that.
I have to do this again.
It's like drugs. It's like drugs.
Yeah. It is drugs, actually.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that covered on where you get your references on how you should be loved, because we said our parents. Yes. Yeah. So okay, it also covered the influences that shape when you were younger that shaped your thinking today regarding love. I feel like that also went in depth on that. Unless there's something you want to add.
You mean how you fall in love? What did you say?
Like when you were younger, how the influences, like for example, how you were saying your father would fix the light bulb. Do
Yes,
this.
yes.
Yeah, so that just shaped how
Yeah.
you're viewing
How
love,
you view love.
as an adult. Yeah. Okay. How has love evolved in your past relationships?
Yeah, maybe if I look back at the self-love part, I think I always love myself because I think I'm quite good at following my heart and doing what I think is good for me. But I think I was not super aware of it. So I think my relationships maybe kind of helped me look at myself more and ask myself more questions. Yeah. Difficult one. Pass.
Wait, what was the question?
How has love evolved in your past relationships? So this could
Evolved.
mean,
Yeah,
so this could mean
evolved.
in high school, this person you feel like you love when this person, let's say if you like flowers,
okay.
and then you're in your 20s, you're like,
Yes.
Okay.
this person, let's move in, and then after that, yeah.
I think I still feel like if you fall in love with somebody, this feeling is still the same.
Yes, true.
But maybe the definition of love changes a little bit. Like in high school, I would fall in love with somebody, and it feels so intense and so strong. But after a week, it's also gone.
It's like,
And then
okay,
it's
so
like,
old news. Until the next one.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, but now I realize I think love is a lot about trust. If I fully trust somebody, and I feel that I can give endlessly without feeling that I'm giving and not getting anything back. I think this now at this stage in my life defines love. There are certain people in my life that I will always give the fullest without, doesn't matter what they do.
Like unconditional.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think for me in high school and all those is more like, I like how they look. Looking at them.
That was love in high school.
Like, and I want them to look at me the same way.
Yes. It's okay, continue. I'm just fixing this part here. Yes. For me, continue, please.
So yeah, that was high school, and then college. I have no idea what happened there. And then, then my first serious relationship, I think it was a lot about trust. I felt like I could really trust this person, and it encouraged me to also trust myself. In that relationship, because it was very intense, feeling that way about someone when you haven't before. And it was very mature love, more at that stage, at least in my life. Communication was happening, trust was happening, and I guess it was what I needed. And now I don't know. I'm very happily single, so I don't really know what my next love is going to look like. So, we'll see.
I like how you all covered on how your love evolved from high school, then you went to college, then after college, and the stage you are right now. So for me in high school, it's there.
Yeah, you feel
It's
it.
there, it happens, but okay.
1 week.
I don't know what it is.
1 week
It's
wonder.
Yeah, 1 week wonder. You're like, okay, that happened. So then in uni, towards the end of uni, that's when I experienced my first serious love, where I learned to trust. I learned to, because this person was teaching me to experience things outside of myself, pushing myself. And that could be physically, emotionally, expressing myself, because majority of people, when they're upset, they shut down. So this person was pushing me to express myself each and every single time I'm upset, because they can't read my mind. Yeah, so that pushed my boundaries and just learned more on how to love. Yeah. And also, the person was expressive, so that also taught me how to be expressive. So I came to the term of expressive women deserve expressive men. Because, yes, you'd find someone is so expressive, but it comes off as emotional or nagging.
Yeah.
But once someone understands, so you've been saying this and this for the whole week. Okay, let's unpack that. Why do you feel this way? What have I done that made you feel this way? And what can I do to stop you making you feel this way, or something that will just minimize the damage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So imagine being that expressive and then being with someone who is not expressive at all. So it's like a barrier.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
But I do think sometimes you find in stages in your life, you find people that are quite the opposite, like you, and you learn a lot. Like in every relationship, you learn new things about love.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, it's always the opposites that you learn more about.
Yeah.
Because if you meet someone you're all the same, it's like, okay, so now I need to learn more.
Yeah.
But it's also good when you're the same.
I think for me that expressiveness, at least now, is almost a requirement
Yeah.
for a relationship to work with me.
This is a part of good communication.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Extremely important for
Yeah.
me.
I would say at the stage where I am right now, I would also say the same thing. If you're not able to express yourself, I'm not sure how I can fix anything or how we can make it better.
Good day.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is powerful.
Yeah.
I think another question might lead back to this.
It's a core of something.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, the next question is, do you believe it's 50-50 in a relationship? This could be financially, or it could be, let's say, you do the house chores, this person takes care of the kids. You go do a 9-to-5 job, and
I
it's
stay
just,
home.
you're
take care of
balancing it
kids.
out, but once they come like this, they balance each out to be 50-50. Yeah.
I
don't know.
think this is maybe one of the evolving things in love.
Yeah.
Because maybe I thought it was like that it had to be 50-50. But actually, if I look back at all my relationships and also my relationship now, it's not necessary. I mean, you both, of course, do what you can and what you can give and what you want to give. But it's not always 50-50%. I think there's also times when it's 80-20. There's times when it's 40-60. There's times when it's, I don't know, when you or your partner is really in the low, maybe it's only 10 and the other one has to give 90.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with what she said, because you'd find with having the mentality that everything has to be 50-50 and not having to change that mentality, you meet someone when they're at their lowest and they require 90% from you.
Yeah.
And you're not able to bring that 90%, but when you need the 90%, this person's there. So it pushes you to step up.
No, I don't think you can put numbers on this thing.
No.
Measure.
Yeah.
I'm putting in 50% of the. I don't know. It is about being there, and for you to feel like they're doing the same. And that's going to ebb and flow. You're going to give more sometimes than others, but you're going to feel okay giving more because you know when you do need that, it'll be there.
And sometimes you feel okay giving more when you actually know it will be there. Sometimes you will give more, but it won't be there.
Yeah,
And that's
that's
just the
what
risk.
I want to say. Yes. There's no I don't expect it in return.
Yeah.
I give it because I feel I can give it and I want to give.
Yeah, I give it because I love you. I'm not
Yes.
expecting you to do it back. I give
Yeah.
it because I know it will make you happy, and if you're happy, I'm happy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what I'm saying when I say you know it'll be there is because this person has shown you before
Yeah.
that they're there for you. So you feel a safety in if I'm in my lowest, I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about you running away.
Yeah.
I feel like you're there for me too.
Yeah, this is
That
the
makes
trust
sense. Yeah.
level that comes back.
Yeah.
Okay, so where were we? All right, how do you keep your individuality separate in your relationship? Because sometimes I know when you get in a relationship, you get so consumed in it that you become this other person's person that you forget to be your own person, to go on your own journey, to grow as an individual. So how do you keep your individuality separate?
I'm gonna turn it around a little bit because if I listen to my best friends, my close two friends we've been friends for a long time, and also my parents and especially my dad, they often tell me in a relationship, Monique, if you keep chasing your own heart all the time, these people are gonna run away from you because you stay too
One
much
track.
with your individuality.
Yeah.
You need to bend a little bit more towards
Yeah.
them as well.
Yeah.
But I not fully agree with their because I do realize that when I'm in a relationship, I do start doing things that my partner would do
Yeah.
because I'm curious about their side of life and I'm open to try whatever they have in mind too,
Yeah.
as long as I feel
Yeah.
I can try this. Not necessarily things that will stick with me maybe for the rest of my life or I will take over.
Yeah.
But like the learning process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with that because you're also supporting your partner's individuality by learning what
Yes.
they're doing and being interested in it.
Yeah.
And it's also more fun when it's also reciprocated.
Yes.
Yes.
It's also fun to do things together if you have
Yes.
similar interest in certain ways and you can do it together. It's super fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree with your disagreement because that's the stage I'm at. I actually think it is a problem because I am one track minded in that way.
Yeah.
Like it just, for me to bend a little bit is it's just, I will take interest if it does sound interesting. So
Yeah.
I guess for me to even get to a point where I like you, there will be things that intrigue me that I would like to try.
Yes.
But I really like to protect my own sense of my routines, the way I do things. I'm open to doing them differently if the person brings up the better way to do them. But this moment, I don't know.
I like what you just said on how you like to maintain your individuality, and if this person wants to partake in it, that's fine. And most people will get lost in relationships because once their partner doesn't show interest in whatever it is they like, they'll say, maybe he doesn't like it. He didn't validate it. Let me do something that he'll validate. Then you start taking part in more of his hobbies. You leave yours all alone. So you lose yourself all into this whole
Yeah, I
relationship, being
cannot
this
imagine
person's
that
person.
happening.
And it is
horrifying.
That sounds miserable.
Yes.
Oh man. And also, do you believe love is a continuous exercise?
Yes.
If even loving myself,
Yeah.
which is probably the biggest thing we have to do.
Yeah.
It is every day that you wake up and like, shoot, that was a really terrible day, but you know what? I'm still a pretty darn good person.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. And I can only imagine extending that to another person that you've only known for however long.
Yeah.
And is very different from you. You don't know everything that's going on
Yeah.
with them. I can only imagine how difficult that is. So
I like how you said you're getting to know this other person, but when you get in a relationship, there's these people who start to think that you don't know everything about me. You find I don't know everything about myself.
No, exactly. That's where it started.
Yeah, like, I don't
you
know
keep changing
everything
and
about
learning.
myself. I'm
So-
changing. I'm evolving. So me saying love is a continuous exercise. Let's change together. And when we change, let's see how will our love evolve with our changes. How will we adapt to our changes together?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if we don't grow together, we will grow apart, and that's
Yeah, you do need to make an effort
Yeah,
to
yeah.
in the actions and the quality time and communication and all this.
yeah.
Yeah. But love is also some kind of undefined. Like, you cannot really explain Like, it, I feel it's always there, but sometimes not paying too much attention to it, and things go into a routine. And then I don't know, some things can bring back your passion. I think relationships go through these waves anyway, so it's a continuous
So there's
exercise.
a time relationships are more relaxed and it's slightly more boring, and the times that are high.
Yes.
And it's okay. For me, I'm using the word boring because you find sometimes that relationship is at a peaceful stage.
Yeah.
Well,
it's like a routine.
Yeah, you've gotten into routine. Let me ask 2 more questions, then we're done. Why did your last relationship end?
When or where?
Why?
So I was married for. I met my ex when I was 21, and we were together for 12 years, but we were married for 6 years. And it ended. I think it ended because he stopped loving himself. Yeah. So this maybe ties back into our previous questions. Yeah, I think he always had quite a up and down life emotionally. But I loved him 100%, and I was able to give my 100% when he was low, and I accepted that completely. Until I think he got to a stage where he was he couldn't continue, because I think the roots of loving yourself, they were not there anymore. Yeah.
That's deep.
It is.
Yeah.
I think I needed. I did get into this relationship when I hadn't really experienced much in terms of life, and it was an amazing relationship. It taught me so much, but I felt at some point that I need to step away from this and experience whatever else. And it wasn't necessarily experiencing other people, but just what am I outside this relationship? And it was sad because I was leaving such a comfortable thing, but at the same time, right now, this moment, I do not regret it. It was a really good decision.
So why did my last relationship end? It ended because I wasn't able to be kind amidst all the madness that was happening, and it also goes to me being expressive. So I'm expressive. I expect expressiveness. So if you're not expressive, I take it as it's a roadblock for me. And it reached a point I wasn't able to be kind to myself sometimes. And that also just came out to me not being kind to him. Yes. So it reached a point where, I don't know, I wasn't good. I wasn't that much of a good person at that time. Yeah.
It's a deep insight.
Yeah.
Especially, I think in relationships, we often turn the mirror to the other person, at least if we don't have that kind of self-awareness. But like Monique's, you would think she's turning the mirror to the other person, but it's only because she recognizes what not loving yourself looks like. And she's known this person for so long. And then for me, it's knowing what I needed at that time. For you, it's knowing I'm not being the best person I can be right now, and it's not good for either of us.
So that's a powerful way to end this.
It's a depressing way to end
It's a
it.
very depressing and powerful way to end this.
This teaches me again something about love, talking about this.
Yeah.
Verbalizing it.
Yeah.
All right. So the last question: what's the misunderstood thing that men don't understand about women in relationships?
Oh wow.
We should have a man up in here.
We really should. We should.
Can we ask a man in
feel
the
like-
next in the next podcast?
This can be the next question in the next podcast. I wanted to start this thing where I'm watching the Man Talk podcast, KE. Have you listened to it? Oh, that's so good. It's so powerful. Basically, it's just they're taking the male perspective in all different aspects.
Okay.
Yeah, it's love from a male perspective. It's family. It's raising children from a male perspective.
Okay.
Because always hearing women saying, "Oh, raising children, this,
Yeah,
this,
the
love,
family
this,
part
and
is
this."
women, yes.
So they come together as men, different perspectives, totally different perspectives. And it just gives you a deep dive into what a man could possibly be feeling during these particular times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know what they misunderstood. It's not really that if I look back at my relationships that all of them misunderstood the same thing.
Yeah, they all misunderstood something totally different. So, yeah, or it could be me that I misunderstood.
Yeah.
But what I have learned about men, we give them a bad rap.
Yeah.
So I think like men do have a bad reputation out there. I don't know why,
They
but
really do.
I think I've gotten to know spectacular men who, when they do show up in a way that is self-aware and they're grounded, it's a beautiful kind of in both friendships and in relationships. I love men.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great people. They're a great race of people.
So you're saying about a certain, okay, I was about to say a certain gender.
Certain
Men.
gender. That other
Men
gender.
that you met that are actually great. You know, most of the times you'll hear women say, men are not this, men are dogs, men are this. There's actually some really good men in friendships, in all that, in love. I've experienced some really good men in love. I've experienced some really good men in friendships.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't
and-
really give them a bad reputation, I think.
Yeah.
They
Just so,
got great examples in my life.
Yeah.
Great.
Of course, there are ones that are a little bit weird.
Yeah,
But same as women. I
They
suppose.
also weird women around.
It's, both people are weird, both genders. We have weirdos.
Yeah.
Yeah. we do.
Yeah. Okay, so it's getting dark. Thank
Super
you
dark.
so
Yeah.
much, Monique, for coming to the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm so happy you came, and Miss Engaisi for coming to the podcast. Yeah.
Can't
this
see
is
anything
the
but
first-
shadows.
Yeah, so this is the first episode. I'm still debating on what to name this episode, but I am so glad
You'll be inspired
we
as you're
did
editing.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, nice. This was the first time I did a podcast. This is
Woo!
cool.
Yes, I'm happy this was able to inspire. Thank you. So thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. I do not know what the next topic will be, but I'm sure it will beat this one.
Yeah.
I will try to make it beat this one. All right. I hope everyone's having a great day.